Okay,
God.
so do you guys remember? All right, my office, by the way, was taken over by Eastwood for the movie Blood Work. Remember when he turned all those alleys outside the building for that
Yes.
pursuit scene with Jeff Daniels? I go to report to John Milius's office in Building 81. Eastwood had the first floor, so in there was like Nolan, Wolfgang Peterson, right? And go in there, and John Milius is telling some story about a rogue German tank detachment that he wants to write a script of, and in the meantime, he lights up a cigar and non-smoking lot. And probably 4 or 5 minutes after that, the security guard comes up to Milius's office. The door's open, and he just leans inside, like he doesn't even announce his presence. He just leans, like, "I'm here again." And Milius is like, "What? Who's complaining? And who's here? It's like 9 at night." And he goes, "Well, they're downstairs. They're doing blood work."
Yeah.
So he's kind of like, "Could you please?" And he's like, "Who's doing blood work?" And I'm like, "They're shooting it right over there by the coffee shop." And he goes, "Milius does one of these. Let's get over there."
Yeah.
And so we go down there, and they're shooting. And I think Kakai Ampa was even the location manager doing that, a mutual friend who worked with you, Mark, on Color Purple.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Milius is there, or Eastwood is there, and Milius goes. They have the history of Dirty Harry, the Dirty Harry movies together. That Milius script doctored Dirty Harry and then Magnum Force. So I get the introduction right for the first time, and I'd seen Eastwood around, and he was always very classy, always very nice. There's this story that he bashed a windshield with a golf club, but I can't seem to pin whether that's real. You know what I'm
I heard
talking?
that story. Somebody parked in his parking place.
Yeah, but
he bashed in the windshield with a golf club, and then later, like paid for the damages and stuff like that. And then I'd heard that story, but I don't know if that was like a cautionary tale. Oh, Clint Eastwood did this one time, you better not. I don't know. I mean, unless you see it.
Right. That's my angle on it too. Like I've heard that from several people, but meeting him and seeing him operate, I'm like, because he was so relaxed and
He's low key. He is so incredibly low key. If he could be invisible, if he could will himself to be invisible, he could do it and get away with it.
So soft spoken. I mean, Tom Rooker ran his office at the time, and that guy I think handled a lot of the administration. But so the way Eastwood interrupts the introduction after it's done, basically, is he gets up and goes, "Well, they're ready for me, so if you'll excuse me, I've got to go kill a few guys." I've got to go kill a few guys.
Clint brought Tom Rooker down from Carmel with him. Tom apparently, this is what I heard. Tom was his go-to guy when he was the mayor, when he was in City Hall there. But Tom, there was nothing subtle about Tom. Tom was like a Sherman tank, and then suddenly one day he was gone, and I heard from it might have been Pat. Told me that Clint got rid of him because he was destroying relationships that Clint had.
So Rooker told me he'd been with Eastwood since Bird, roughly around that time when they'd done the movie Bird. But what I heard from another Eastwood associate was that Eastwood actually didn't really like the idea of firing him. So what he did was shut down the company and then like bring it back like 30 days later without Tom or something like that.
He did do that. He did. I have a story that I will tell you guys off the air because it's not for publication. When Clint did that, and that makes perfect sense because it was not gone for long, and then it was back.
And when it was back, it was without Tom, who I always got along with. I thought Tom was fine myself. So there's no Tom bashing.
I never
from my
interacted.
point of view.
I never interacted with him, so I don't know. I wouldn't even be able to pull him out of a lineup.
I wonder if I could now too, because it's been a while. And there was a lady that worked in there. She was very nice.
Clint's stuff. Clint was autonomous, and he did his thing. And as far as like we were concerned, we never got involved in the financials or anything because Clint would do the stuff for a price. And then Joel Cox was running all of his posts, so there was no need for us. They would call us if they needed help with something, But then towards the end, when Rob Lorenz came in, Rob Lorenz started to involve the studio more and stuff. And it was great because they were all great people to work with. I mean, they were absolutely, it was kind of like with Costner's company. They were great people to work with. I was sorry to see them go on some level. They weren't
Mhm.
making very good movies at the time, but but they were so fun to work with, Jim Wilson and the whole crew.
So thanks to, our producer here, Loda Hadley, Joe Cox has done this show, and he's great because he's won multiple Oscars, as you know. And the only question I really had for him is, I loved what you did cutting and editing Cleopatra Jones, but what have you done since? And he immediately started laughing because obviously that's the one credit he never hears. And then we went on and on about how Warner Brothers was actually, or one of the executives that I was aware of, was trying to reboot it. But we ended up at a wedding, and you know who was there? He sat next to me, and he was going on and on about the new Warner Brothers regime interfering with Eastwood. Was Mike Cipriano? Do you remember him?
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was an assistant editor.
right. For
Yeah,
Cox, and he's
yeah,
like, they're all about the Matrix and stuff, and they don't want to do character pictures. And he was going on and on. And weddings are great to talk to people because when they start drinking, you get it
yeah.
all.
You get it all. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
It's like a cement truck just backed up and just flooded you with nonsense, concrete, So he was just going on and on with giving us all the dirt and the politics. And I mean, I got to tell you, one of the people, because she had a great reputation and still does. Lotus got such a good reputation, people feel it's safe to talk around her. Like me, they regard as sort of a pirate, but they'll think so. She got all these great stories too, and she's like a trigger for, I guess, honesty in a sense. But yeah.
Hello, this is Richard Ashton. You won't know me from such TV shows as Outlander, Vikings, and Doctor Who, but I would like you to know about the search for a cure for NMOSD, and with it, a cure for cancer. Go to the Goothy Jackson Foundation and donate today. Thank you.